It's not about being a plastic surgeon. It's not about making money. It's about changing people's lives. Don't hit the snooze button. Get out of bed. Get some sunlight as soon as you wake up. That vitamin D is important for your whole system. Once you have a mastectomy, that doesn't mean all your breast tissue is gone. Thymosin alpha-1, I think everyone should just carry a little bit of it at their house all the time. As soon as you feel a flu or something coming on, it's a great product, especially with COVID. I also do use melanotan. In the bodybuilding world, it was known as the Barbie peptide because you would get tan with this. Some people overuse it and you could turn orange like Donald Trump. Instead of the omega-3s, I take fatty 15, which has more than 3 times the added benefits of omega-3s. It's good for brain health. It's good for your vessels, good for your cholesterol. Hey, this is Doctor's Life Podcast. I'm Dr. Rouzbeh Torabi. My brother's in surgery today, so he won't be joining us. But I'll go through some of the stuff on my own, and if you got any questions, we can answer those. So I want to just start off by going through what surgeries we performed last week and what we have planned for this week, and we'll go from there. And then after we talk about the surgeries and what's exactly done, we'll go through my yearly regimen of peptides and supplements that I use, how I cycle them, and how they benefit me. Second route, some great audiobooks I can make references to that help with mindset and overall brain hacking, and then go over some of the methods I use for brain hacking. So going through the cases, during the summertime, it's usually pretty light schedule in Arizona, but we've ran a pretty busy clinic, and we usually are pretty busy even during the summertime with a lot of people being on vacation. I myself go away, but take a few days out here and there. I don't take like a month off or anything. In the future, I wish to take months off, probably go and do some mission work, do cleft lip and palates. Now for the surgeries that we did last week, I can't speak on my brother's behalf. He had a bunch of surgeries. We did 4 breast reconstruction cases, which we worked together. A few of them he started, and I was doing either a mommy makeover, and I did a facelift while he was in the operating room getting the patient ready for me to come in. I usually enter the room at around noon, 1 o'clock. He goes, takes a rest, and I start preparing the chest and putting in the flaps in the chest. And the flaps are basically skin and soft tissue that we remove from the abdomen. That's usually in a tummy tuck, we usually just throw that away. With this reconstructive option, we're able to save the tissue with the blood vessels and also save the muscle in the abdomen, which is very important. The old way, they weren't able to save the muscle and would just use that muscle with the blood vessel, either reconnect it in the chest or just roll it up through a hole they would make underneath the skin and tunnel it into your chest. But now we're able to preserve the nerves, the muscle, and be able to take those vessels and plug them into the chest to get whole new tissue that's in your chest. And it's just fatty tissue. It's not actual breast tissue. So risk of getting breast cancer or just from mastectomy and the small amount of breast tissue that's left behind after a mastectomy. And what people don't know is once you have a mastectomy, that doesn't mean all your breast tissue is gone. There's no way of getting rid of all the breast tissue unless they cut out a whole bunch of skin, and you obviously wouldn't want that. So this reconstructive option's great. Not many people do it in town. There's only 4 or 5 of us that offer it to patients. People do offer it on their website, but when you go to see them, they don't even talk about it, and you end up coming out thinking that implants are the only thing you can get. And we have a lot of patients coming from other plastic surgeons and from all around the country wanting to get this procedure done. And we're able to offer something special to them just to regain their confidence and not have the issues. And some patients have had 10, 12 surgeries with implant after implant and issues with the implants. And we're able to reconstruct the breast and give them the look and confidence they need after battling with breast cancer. So this is an important part of our practice, where we get to help out the community in a much different way than anyone else does. Even in the implant-based reconstruction, we still do quite a bit of implant-based reconstruction. We try to stay up to date with the most common techniques, like going direct to implant. And even with our tissue-based reconstruction, we try to do them simultaneously with the breast surgeon in one surgery. So the big surgery is usually done right up front, and then minor little tweaks can be done down the line. This helps with downtime. People don't want to take a lot of time off of work, and this will help get them back into moving around, being social, being confident. Those were those cases. I had a facelift, tummy tuck. I think my brother had a few tummy tucks and also a couple of breast augmentations. So overall, we had a pretty busy week. Also in there, we had office hours, which we see about 20, 30 patients each office hours, either 2 to 3 days a week. And we have 2 different locations. One's in Chandler, one's in Phoenix. And we're building our new Chandler office as well as building a new Scottsdale office. So can't wait to have the new Chandler office where we can devise our own office hours and have something that's presentable to our patient population in that area. So that's about our week. Always running pretty busy. Usually get out of the house about 7:30. And then hit the road, start operating by 7:38, and sometimes 7 o'clock. Like tomorrow, I'm doing a lower body lift. I start at 7 a.m. And then we get done usually around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon is our usual time. And then we go home, spend time with our family. So those are our usual days. And clinic days usually finish about 5, 6 o'clock with seeing patients, and then head home after that. So that's our typical day and what our last week looked like. And some of these flaps, we've finished both sides in as little as 4 hours, and then sometimes it takes 8 to 10 hours to do the surgeries. Recovery-wise, you wouldn't be able to tell with a patient that had 4-hour surgery and 10-hour surgery. It all depends on, how much anesthesia they needed and how well they do with pain. And different patients, some patients, they can have 10, 12-hour surgeries and be ready to go home the next day. So the length of surgery, sometimes the anesthesia kicks people's butts. With the longer you're under anesthesia, you're going to be drowsier until your system clears that. But it's not always the reason, because we've had plenty of people after 10, 12 hours look like they didn't even have surgery. So we're done with our week. I'll talk more about the peptide regimen. My daily supplements that I usually use, one of the important things, instead of the omega-3s, I take fatty 15, which has more than 3 times the added benefits of omega-3s. It's a great new product. You should check it out. It's good for brain health. It's good for your vessels, good for your cholesterol. Overall, great product. There's the one company that invented it and sells it. It's proven a lot of added benefits. There's good studies behind it. Another product that I use daily, I use tesofenacine. Tesofenacine was originally brought on the market trying to act as a Alzheimer's medication. It is not just a serotonin, but a noradrenaline and serotonin reuptake inhibitor and dopamine reuptake inhibitor. So overall, it makes the mood a lot better, but it also helps with weight loss. The way it helps with weight loss, and that's the reason it stopped the studies on Alzheimer's, because these are patients you don't want to lose weight. So it was taken off. But with tesofenacine, you can keep a lot of the muscle mass and lose the weight. And it makes you think differently about food, because you don't get that dopamine rush that you do with, eating food. So it overall, I put it along with my semaglutide or tirzepatide to help with additional weight loss and keeping muscle mass. Another vital part is a B vitamin is huge in my regimen, especially either NAD, NMN, whatever you want to use, or niacin. So I do NAD nasal spray, which helps with energy and goes straight to the brain with producing mitochondria, helps with better thought process, more focus, overall thinking abilities. It helps in multiple different ways with the brain. And then energy-wise, I take oral supplementation. I use a lot of Thorne supplements, and their supplements are great. They're well studied, have the appropriate amount of products in them. More isn't always better. they put the appropriate amounts. Especially their Reservacel is one of the best supplements out there, I think. Provides you with resveratrol and your NMN, helping with the longevity and anti-aging process. Another product that I use, I am 45, so I do use a thyroid supplement. I'm not hypothyroid, but I like to keep my thyroid numbers appropriate. As I'm on hormone replacement therapy, I like to keep all my hormones pretty level. I do also take Metformin for the anti-aging benefits. Helps with glucose control, but also is anti-inflammatory with losing weight. And there's proven studies that they don't know how, but it does decrease the risk of cancer. Other things that I do use is oxytocin nasal spray. Oxytocin works great. It's the love hormone. It just makes you be happier, kind of love life, love what you do. And I already live that way, but I think oxytocin just takes it to another level. So that's another helpful thing. Now let's go to some of the peptides I take. So if I go away on vacation or something, I usually, once I come back, I like to clear out my gut and make sure I heal my gut. Sometimes that's using a probiotic, but there's certain peptides that I use to kind of help with cleaning the gut. I use BPC, which is known to heal the gut. KPV, which is part of the melanotan family, also helps with inflammation, gut healing, and also lorazepatide. Lorazepatide, actually with patients with celiac disease, if they have issues with gluten allergy or something like that, this helps clear that situation. So I take a combination of those 3 peptides orally. I take it once a day at night for 30 days, and then I'll cycle back once a quarter usually. And that's usually goes along with when I take a week-long vacation that I'm going out of the country or something, and like I'll eat different things. I use it to kind of clear out and heal my system, because overall your GI tract is important to the rest of your body. It's got a lot of inflammatory cells or immune cells that can either cause inflammation or help your body. So if you notice, you calm down the gut and decrease the inflammation in your gut, your brain's going to function better. You're going to sleep better. You're going to be able to lose much more weight. So they all work hand in hand, and your immunity is going to be better. You're not going to get sick as much. So you can't repair one thing without the other. And the gut's probably your foundational thing that you should always try to improve and try to heal. So that's like the atomic bomb for your gut. That works really well. I haven't had any issues with constipation or diarrhea with it. So some people do are more sensitive to it, but these are great compounds that work together synergistically to repair the gut. A peptide that I use 5 days on, 2 days off, and I use it year round. I'll take a month or 2 off and cycle it back in, is CJC Ipamorelin. That's on the FDA banned list. And I still have my last vial before I run out. Then I got to figure out, actually, I got a pharmacy that I can still get it from. In certain states, it's not banned by the FDA, so you can still get the injectable form. And what CJC Ipamorelin does is increases your growth hormone levels. One is by directly causing your pituitary gland to secrete growth hormone. The other one releases more growth hormone. When you have this, what are the added benefits of CJC Ipamorelin? I started taking it for lean body mass and losing weight, but there's so many better benefits. And what you realize right away is that you can get lots of deep sleep with this, and you get a lot better sleep. If you're taking growth hormone, you do too, but this is much different. Growth hormone, you get a lot of swelling, a lot of side effects. It's not good for you. It's not good for your heart if you're using it on chronically. This you can use and won't mess up your body making its own growth hormone. But the sleep, once I started this, the deep sleep I got was incredible. And then, at 3-4 months, you begin to notice better hair, better skin. It almost looks like it's reversing your age. So it's a go-to peptide. I usually take it right before bed. For weight loss, I was taking right before bed and right when I got up. So it would increase when my growth hormone would be surging. at nighttime and in the morning. So there's different ways of taking it. And then I switched to just taking it at night. I didn't want to do too many sticks. So I just take one dose. I am Middle Eastern, so I am usually tan anyways, and I tan pretty easily when I go out in the sun. And once I had my kids, I'm out more, so I tan most of the year because I'm outside. But I also do use melanotan. Melanotan, in the bodybuilding world, it was known as the Ken peptide. I think Ken or Barbie peptide, because you would get tan with this. Some people overuse it, and you could turn orange. Like Donald Trump. But if used appropriately, you can keep just a slight tan. You know, if you're going away, one thing it does is you could take it until you get the appropriate tint that you like, and then you do it on a weekly basis. And I just do a small dose weekly to kind of keep somewhat of a tan. The other added benefits of melanotan are increased libido, and also your penis will be larger, flaccid, with melanotan. So I got to read up more on how it functions in that way, but I think it's the smooth muscles are more relaxed, so that allows it to expand out. It's also used as a sex peptide, and there's different formulations. It comes in PT-141, which is smaller chains of the melanotan, which are used more for libido and as a sex peptide. And then other things, I do use BPC injections. Those are taken off the market for FDA purposes. I use it for healing and recovery from working out. Just overall, being a surgeon's like almost like being an athlete, day in, day out. You put your body through strenuous activity, and you need something to aid, help, and recover. BPC and some of the other peptides, they used to be called TB500 or TB4. Both were taken off the market. They helped with muscle injury and to help recover and help with pain, and they were anti-inflammatory. They worked really well. I have one of my medical assistants that nothing else worked for her back pain, but she was on BPC injectable, and she said it all went away. She doesn't know what to do without it. So, people are getting hurt because the FDA unlawfully regulated these that, so many people were getting so much benefit from. I'm trying to figure out ways of different peptides that are up and coming and trying to get ahead of the clan and trying to get my hands on a lot of that stuff to be able to get it for my patients so they can continue on the path of being healthy and overall feeling well. So TB4, BPC, and then thymosin alpha 1. I usually cycle all three together. It was a lot of pokes, but I would do them once to twice a day, all of them. And then I do them once every quarter. I'll do a 20 to 30 day cycle with these peptides to help repair and have my body recover, decrease inflammation, and get rid of senescent cells so I'm able to build more muscle and just continue to age well. Other thing I've used is epithalon. Epithalon's great. That one I do about twice a year. I do a 10-day cycle of that. And this was actually studied in some Russian studies, which showed incredible results with decreasing the mortality rate compared to people not taking it. And it was done with people taking it, every 6 months for 2 years. I forget if it was 3 days or a 10-day course that they did, 2 cycles a year for 2 years. The decreased mortality rate was tremendous. So other than for the decreased mortality rate, we're not going to become immortal, but epithalon, what I noticed was it almost doubled my deep sleep I was getting. I track a lot of this stuff just for my overall health. Also to kind of know what I'm doing is appropriate and working. So epithalon I noticed my sleep was just phenomenal on it. And I would like to just do a low dose of that every so often just for sleep. I think even microdosing it might be helpful in getting great sleep. And then Motzi is another great product that I cycle 3 to 4 times a year. It's a mitochondrial peptide, helps boost energy and boost the mitochondrial cells. The injections are a little painful. I inject twice a week and usually do a 5-week cycle every 3-4 months. This helps with building muscle and energy. And I definitely notice the difference with working out. I can go a lot harder on cardio, do a lot more weights, just more energetic throughout the day. And it works wonders. So that's another addition. So far, we've covered, I think I take every peptide in the book and I've tried them. I haven't had any side effects from them. And even like the skin peptide, GHK, copper, I injected that too. That was great as an anti-inflammatory. I've used it as a cream. I use it in most of the daily creams that I put on my face. So GHK copper is another great one. So let's go over kind of what I usually tend to use. So the ones I truly believe in, CJC Ipamorelin is great. If patients have issues with flushing, I change the CJC to tesamorelin with Ipamorelin. Helps with the flushing. Some people get real bad headache when they get flushed. BPC and thymosin beta-4 are 2 great products to help with the recover and inflammation. Thymosin alpha-1, I think everyone should just carry a little bit of it at their house all the time. As soon as you feel a flu or something coming on, it's a great product, especially with COVID, to just do some doses before you get the actual flu. It helps you recover from flu and viruses and fight off viral infections. Or you can just cycle it in with the rest of the regimen to get your immune cells optimized. So when the flu season comes around, everyone else could get sick and you're not getting sick along with everyone else. There's those. Then I use KPV and lorazepam. Those are more gut peptides and taken orally. And then Motzi, which is another great component. Great audiobooks, especially for med students and surgeons. It's important to get into that right mindset. I used to think music was the only way to get into that right mindset, but through meditation and everything. And growing up, we were forced to read, which kind of made reading one of my most hated things. And it's weird to say because we went to med school and my vision went downhill pretty quickly because I had my face in the books 24/7 and even during surgery and stuff. But once we're done with the test taking, I was like, I'm not reading a book ever in my life. Trying to learn and be at the top of the game got me into reading more and more. You know, I started to read some real estate books and investment books to try to make sure I'm doing the right thing. And then all of a sudden I stopped listening to music and then I just keep on buying audiobooks. And once I buy the audiobooks, if the audiobooks are good enough, I have a collection of books that I have at home that I buy the hardcover so I can actually go through it and read it. And it's tough for me to sit through lectures and stuff and listen to it at regular speed because my brain's used to listening to it at least like a 1.5 to 2x speed. That's how I comprehend it the best. Otherwise, I just lose my mind. Some of the top on my list of audiobooks that I tell everyone they should read is Relentless and Winning by Grover, who is Michael Jordan's trainer. But he wasn't just Michael Jordan. He was Kobe Bryant and a lot of the top elite athletes. Just the way the book reads, it's incredible. And, you know, maybe I can relate to Relentless. That's why I was on such fire with the book. Just gets my thought process going. So those are great books for anyone in medicine or med school or anywhere in life. They're great for anyone just to get you up and having that mindset of how these people were. Like Michael Jordan was such a perfectionist and like how you need to be to, you know, get everyone around you to kind of follow you and being that way. And just the mindset, it's not about the money. It's not about the championships. One of the things he says in Relentless is when he wins the championship, he doesn't just go on and just continue to party because he won a championship. He won the championship. he celebrates, and then it's time to get ready for the next one. And how am I going to do that? That's kind of like how I'm built too. Step by step, you try to just continue to improve yourself and see where your next win is going to be. I'm not as good as setting my goals, but I think it is important to have like 90-day goals that you can set for yourself and continue to win at that and continue to step up one moment at a time. The other books, I want to go into the magic of thinking big. I think this was an excellent book of getting that right mindset of what to do. You got to be forward thinking. And if you keep on thinking about the past, you're not going to be able to grow. You got to just keep on moving and thinking of ways to get bigger and setting bigger goals and continue to improve yourself. I think it was a great book. There's so many good audiobooks I've listened to. Those are 3 great ones, and I keep on listening to new ones so we can go over those. I listen to them and see how they are and how they can improve the way you manage your time, your skills, your profession, and just your mindset to be thinking better and improving at life. And people understanding that not everything's about money. And a lot of people, I hate saying that because people already, they're like, he's a plastic surgeon. He can say that because, he has all the money, whatever. But it's not. It was a lot of hard work to get into that position. And it makes you realize how much you love it and, to just be able to change people's lives. And it's not about being a plastic surgeon. It's not about making money. It's about changing people's lives. If it was about money, like I think I would have stopped doing this a while ago, but it's about changing people's lives. And that's why I keep on doing it. That's why my brother keeps on doing it. It's fun. It's fun to be able to help people out, and helping them achieve something that they didn't think was possible is something that's pure gift to us as much as it is to the patient. So some of my daily regimens that I want to talk about is, I do a lot of brain hacking. Some of it's with supplements, but some of it's with audiovisual stuff. One of the best products I really like is BrainTap. BrainTap has an app, and then it has a headset that you wear as headphones. And the headphones have lights within the headphones, and also has shades that come down. And it's with light and vibration, they're able to hack to be able to get neuroplasticity. There's different programs for different people. If you're in financials, they have something. If you're about life mastery, they have that. Biohacking, they have something for that. And they have easier ways to get to sleep and stay asleep. They have ways for you to meditate easier. They even have a whole set of episodes that are good for high-performing athletes. And you're going to see more and more athletes wearing this, and they already do, mainly in the locker room to kind of get them focused. This is a great way I use to either fall asleep. And if I wake up in the middle of the night and can't sleep, I put it back on, and it helps me fall back asleep really fast and get into deep sleep pretty quickly. And then when I wake up, I also wear it to meditate, and there's also some breath work with it, and also different tones and vibrations and frequencies to awaken your brain so you're more energetic in the morning. And then other things that I use the Meny device. That's another headset that I use that I wear, measures the blood flow to your forehead through FIRS, which is infrared spectroscopy, measures the blood flow to your brain, and you concentrate on a ball on your phone. And this helps with focus and overall mindset. You just feel a lot better. At the beginning, you're like, this isn't doing anything. But once you do it for 2 to 3 weeks, you notice the complete difference. And the newest thing I got was the Muse headset, which helps you get into that meditative state a lot quicker. It's a great product as well. This is more for meditation, where the Muse is more for concentration and overall being able to function a lot better. Muse gets you more into that meditative state. And the problem with these is, like, you have 100 apps on your phone, but these are some of the top products. My favorite one is the BrainTap by far. I think it does a lot more to get me focused, get me into meditation, get me sleep. Some people can't wear the headset, but I totally love the headset. I think it works great. So those are my brain hacking things. And then, I use the NAD nasal spray to kind of help with thought process. Other things, CJC Ipamorelin, that's definitely going to help with your thought process, brain fog, just forming those synapses, neurons. I use dihexa, which is also improves the synapses between the neurons, helps with thinking. Also, that's something that's being studied more and more to help with Alzheimer's. Some days that I need to do more concentration and be able to work in the office or do certain things, I use low-dose nicotine troches. When people think nicotine's really bad for you, at low doses, you actually get very well concentrated brain function. So I take these troches, they're very low dose. They're less than 1 milligram of nicotine with no harmful added products. And this helps my overall thinking process. And there's a lot of new products that I don't put them out there for my patients to try until I've tried and seen it work. If I don't think it works, then I don't bring it to the media so patients use it. I'll probably start doing more and more reviews of the supplements that I truly believe in and that work. We have a whole line of Thorne supplements that we truly believe in. A lot of the products that I use from their system, they've been well studied, and I've read the studies and believe they work. So let's go over things to do every day for your anti-aging and long life to help with overall mind, body, and soul wellness. So wake up in the morning, try to wake up. Don't hit the snooze button. Get out of bed. Get some sunlight as soon as you wake up. You don't need to do 10 minutes. Just, start out with 1 minute and then move up to 5 minutes and 10 minutes because that vitamin D is important for your whole system. Get moving right away in the morning. As you get older, it's more stretching than moving. In the morning, just stretch out your muscles. Do some yoga, different poses, stretch out your legs, stretch out your back, shoulders, just so you maintain a good posture. Number 3, I usually try to get a workout in. I do stretch bands and usually 10 to 15 minutes. Throughout the day, try to move. Try not to be sedentary, try to move around, do some squats, jumping jacks, whatever it takes to just move around and overall be busy. Get your overall heart rate down so your baseline's down. Exercise is going to help you throughout the day. And throughout your life, if you're going to do something that's anti-aging, exercise is one of the biggest anti-aging things you have. And it doesn't have to be stressful exercise. I do the resistance bands or even resistance training, but you don't have to kill it. Doing a 20-mile run every day isn't good for you. It's better than not doing anything, but it's also not better than just being active all day long because that just releases more cortisol and it could be detrimental to your health overall. Meditation and breath work is another thing that for overall mindset and well-being, I think those are huge things that you need to do. Exercise, meditate. Those are the biggest things I think that I try to do every day. This has been Doctor's Life Podcast. Thanks for tuning in this week. I know I was alone, but next week we might have 3 of us. So we'll see if we can get the youngest one to join us on the podcast. We'll see you soon.